Hello everyone, my name is Fawad Said Rahim and I have my colleagues, each one like Anurag, Kazim and Tengli. We're going to talk about Amazon Redshift, AWS Pipeline Elastic Map Reduce. So I'll just quickly start with an overview and then I'll have my colleagues each covering their part. So basically, I'll start with an overview. Please, the next slide. All right, the introduction of this Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services was launched in 2006 from from online retail to basically a cloud storage and many other services. And it was the first company that introduced pay-as-you-go cloud services to the market. So I'll just basically briefly talk about what are AWS. It is more than an online retailer like any other cloud-based platform. AWS is a mixture of infrastructure as service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Basically, second thing I'll cover what AWS does do. So it provides services to organization like compute power, data storage, content delivery to government and educational agencies, profit and non-profit agencies, and also private organizations. Basically, the third thing that some of the specific services that that Amazon provides, like Amazon AC2 for virtual computer and Amazon Route 53 for scalable domain name system, and AWS Amplify for building apps. And also Amazon Web Services is comprised with 24 product categories like networking, developing tools, security, and governance in different forms. And also that this platform is not only for data storage, it has more than one things like it can be used for messaging, gaming, virtual reality, and general businesses. I'll let my colleagues start their part.
Thank you. Next slide, please. I'm going to start talk about the Redshift. With rapidly increasing data volume, it is challenging the capacity and performance of data warehouses. Redshift is designed to handle humongous data. It is using massively parallel processing technology. Data costs in traditional data warehouses are unable to scale up, but Redshift can do it. It is also very easy to use for the current market. Next slide, please. RA3 instance deliver up to 3 times better price performance, which is provide faster performance than the others. Arco enables Redshift to run up to 10 times faster than other enterprise cloud data warehouses by automatically boosting certain types of queries. You can explore data in data lake in an open format like Hadoop and ORC. With a new federated query capability in Redshift, you can reach into your operational relational database. You are free to choose any SQL, ETL, and BI tools you are familiar with. There is no requirement to use the tools provided by Amazon. You can perform end-to-end business operations without requiring data movement. Redshift uses machine learning to predict and analyze queries to get faster performance, handle end-to-end analytics workflows without friction. Amazon EMR to process data using Hadoop Spark and load the output into Amazon Redshift for BI and analytics. With AWS Redshift system, AWS Analytics system, and partner ecosystem, you can build a secure, compliant, cost-effective platform for any use case. You can accelerate data onboarding and create valuable business insights in minutes by integrating with select partner solution in the Redshift console. Next slide, please. At least for data, at least of petabytes of scale is required because this is the limitation of the MPP. AWS Redshift will scale up automatically to support increasing concurrent workloads. Next slide, please. For security, data in the Redshift is always encrypted. The security of the cloud is handled by Amazon, and the security of the applications within the cloud must be provided by users. Amazon provides provisions for access control, data encryption, and virtual private cloud to provide an added level of security. Next slide, please. Here are the competitors of Redshift. Next slide, please. Amazon offers a very flexible pricing schema for Redshift. The price starts at 25 cents per hour for terabytes of data, and it can be scaled up from there. First, you need to opt for a node type you want. Redshift offers 3 types of nodes: RA3 nodes with managed storage, DC2 nodes when you need high performance, DS2 nodes when there is a large data site that needs to be stored. This is all my part for the Redshift. Thank you.
So now Kazim will talk about pipeline.
Okay, next slide. Yeah, so data pipeline is used for transferring and transforming data in AWS. So you have to configure a workflow, and in the workflow you have jobs that is going to help you to ascertain a particular business logic. So in this diagram that you have here, we have, for example, a pipeline that is configured to extract log files from Amazon EC2 and log them into Amazon S3 on a daily basis, and on a weekly basis is going to transfer that log file into Amazon EMR to do the analytical process for the same data. Next slide. Hello? Yeah. To configure the key components of the pipeline, you have the data node. The data node, you have to define all the resources that you are going to use. What is the location? Where is the location of the data? What is the format of the data that you want to use? Then you have to specify that. Then in the activities, you define the jobs that are going to be executed in each workflow. That is what you have to do there. And in the precondition, what are the conditions that are necessary before a job could be executed? That is what you have to define in that one. Then in the schedule, you have to schedule the work, the pipeline. Is it going to be on a daily basis or on basis? You configure those ones there. Then you have the resources and the components that the Amazon instances that you want to use, that is going to help to configure to, you are going to instantiate to run jobs and the actions that they have to be that must be performed. If the transaction is done, how do we notify that it has been done? So maybe you are going to send an SNS messages in those cases, and if it fails, what is going to be done? That is what you have to configure in those places. Next slide. Then the pipeline is just for transformation of data, not actually. So this is what I look at is the limitations of the pipeline. So for each workflow that you can configure, you can have as much as 100 pipelines in your account. Then you can have, for each pipeline, you can have as much as 100 jobs, like the objects and the maximum of instances that can be configured. Then we have the API, that if you want to make API calls, like to create a pipeline, for example, you can make a call per second. Then all these things, they are scalable. You can configure your platform to scale as the need arises, but there are additional money. Next slide. Then the security, the data protection that is used in the system. You have the SSL, so TLS, TSL. Then we have the IAM, which is used to assign which particular user have access to a particular resources on the platform. They are just general AWS security components that is also used by the pipeline. The next slide. Then these are the competitors for the pipeline. Next slide. Then the pricing. We have what they call low frequency and high frequency. Low frequency is only one pipeline in a day. So, for example, if we have what the free for free user tier. If you are running 3 low frequency preconditions and you are running 5 low frequency activities like the jobs in a day, then you are, it is free. You are not going to pay. But if you have additional ones, then it is 6 cents for low frequency, and for high frequency it is 60 cents for low frequency, and for high frequency it is $1 per month. Next slide.
So now I will talk about Elastic Map Reduce. So what exactly is Elastic Map Reduce? It's basically a managed cluster platform that simplifies running big data frameworks such as Hadoop and Spark. It allows you to process and analyze many types of data. And you can query any data set. And you can use the technology of machine learning to analyze the data. So what are the key components? We have provision cluster in minutes, where you're able to launch the EMI cluster in minutes. And you don't have to worry about settings, as these are automatically done. You have then easily scale resources. You're able to scale out and scale in using a tool called EMI Managed Scaling. You have EMI Studio, which is an IDE for data scientists and engineers to develop, visualize, and debug many data applications. And it also has many tools in the IDE to make debugging easier. Next, you have single-click high availability. You're able to configure the high availability in one click. Next, you have EMI Managed Scaling. You're able to auto resize for the lowest cost, and you can specify the minimize and maximum compute levels. Lastly, easily reconfigure running clusters. You're able to modify running clusters without shutting it down or terminating a cluster. Cloud and data capabilities. There's many different ways, but there's 2 main ways for adding or deducting capacity. One is called deploy multiple clusters. Using multiple clusters for multiple users or application, you launch a new cluster and terminate the one that's not being used. Next is resize a running cluster. You're able to scale out and in a cluster for either temporary for more power or scale in to save cost. There's also different type of data stores like Amazon S3, Hadoop distributed file system, and Amazon DynamoDB. Next, I'm going to talk about the security options of EMI. There's many different security setups. One is called data encryption of IAM, where you basically create different user roles to administrative how the EMI cluster can be accessed. You also have keyboard rules, which is a strong authentication through secret key. Lake formation, which is a fine-grained column-level access. Secure socket cell, which is a secure ways for users to connect to the command line of the cluster. And then Amazon EC2 security groups, which is a virtual firewall for the EMR clusters. So these are some of the key components. So we have HT Insight Cloud, Google Cloud Platform, Kubera, Cloudera. And lastly, Amazon EMR's pricing structure. So there's many different type of Amazon EMR pricing structure. One is called Amazon EMR on EKS. So on EKS, it's added to the EC2 and Elastic Block Store price. It's billed per second rate. And there's variety of options like on-demand, 1 year, and 3-year reserved instances. Next, we have Amazon on AWS Outpost, which is based on the cloud-based instances of the EMR. Forward will conclude it. Forward, you can go ahead with your conclusion.
I'll conclude my presentation, our presentation, with 3 points. So basically, AWS is almost for everyone. It is just based on the need of the people, what they need. AWS provide a variety of services that like compute power, data storage, content delivery services, and so on. And also, it's been a service for data warehouse for more than 19 countries and competing like IBM, Google, and Azure, Microsoft Azure. So basically, it is a platform that not only is for data warehouse, it has some other services. Thank you so much, and have a lovely day, everyone.